Well, we are about 3/4 of the way through April, and as you can see, I have another digger on my hands. Jessie, if you've been watching the garden videos, has always been very into digging her little holes, and Frankie looks like he's got the same kind of interest, so they're quite a pair. Also, today is Jessie's 8th birthday, so happy birthday to Jessie. And yesterday was Frankie's 1st birthday, so he's officially an adult dog, although there's a lot of puppy in him, that's for sure. But very special happenings around here. We were celebrating with new squeaky toys, as if they haven't got enough already. And since we are April, even though it's late April and Easter's long since passed, they've got their Easter egg scarfies on. I think you can see that they have colored eggs on them. So they're both wearing them. And since it is April, there's actually quite a bit going on out here in the garden, I'm happy to report. We'll walk over here and start with chives, where I predictably start. But look at them. They're looking great, and as you can see, they're forming the little blooms that they do. Typically in May they bloom, and we're getting close to May, so so they're doing just fine. If we come down here to the pet memorial area, it's all cleaned up, and planted a rose bush last year, which is doing fine, and I just planted these daisy-like things. I forget what they're called. They've got kind of a ugly name, like tickweed or something like that, but got a few daffodils hanging on there, and otherwise things are looking good in the pet memorial area. Bed number 1 has nothing going on. That won't happen until a little bit later. And bed number 2 is where most of the activity is. This is a couple of trenches of peas, and the peas this year, just terrible germination. I don't know why. That's one there. You can see a couple more down there, but I just didn't get any pea germination whatsoever, so I may have to just start over with them. Not so for the beets. That's a row of beets. They're coming in very nicely, about ready to thin them. This is lettuce, winter density it's called. This is another row of lettuce, also doing fine, called red romaine. A third row of lettuce, Bambi, and then these are a little harder to see, but this is carrots coming in, Bolero. I've got another row of carrots that haven't started to show up yet. Oh, I just stepped on a snake. Oops, did you see him? I don't know if I caught him. He's in there, little garter snake. Surprised me too. And then a row of radishes here, which are doing fine, about ready to be thinned, I think, again one more time. And the diggers are continuing to dig. Well, like I said, the daffodils, these big daffodils that bloomed last month, they're all done for. But look at this. These are just tiny little things. See how small they are? But nice cluster of them there, and they've been there for a few years. The garlic, which is this row here, for some reason didn't really come up the way I was hoping. Not sure why, because the winter wasn't very harsh at all. So I only got a couple of them coming up. Meanwhile, I've got a few rows of onions here. I actually planted them in blocks. So this side is candy, and the other side, the other half, is a red onion called Red Zeppelin. I mean, how could I not get those with a name like that? That's marketing genius there. This is potatoes, which I expected to see coming up by now. I'm a little concerned about that, because they've been in the ground a few weeks, and I was hoping to see some activity coming up through the soil. I don't yet. I guess I won't panic, because better to see none than to see one or two out of dozens. And then on this end of bed number 4 is the only other place we've actually got some activity in the garden proper, and these are 2 rows of leeks, and they were plants, and they've already gained a couple of inches, I think, since I planted them, so they're doing pretty well. Bed, what is this, 5 is got nothing in it. It's going to eventually be sunflowers or corn. I think I'm going to do corn in that bed and sunflowers in this bed here. And then in what used to be the pumpkin patch out there, I just worked on that bed today a little bit. That's going to be where I do the popcorn and the Indian corn, so that's going to be an ambitious undertaking, just merely because of its size. But other than that, we've got stuff going on inside, and then some stuff in the asparagus patches. Inside, under the lights, and I think I have some shots here for you, are, let's see if I can remember everything. There's ground cherries and tomatoes. There's peppers and eggplant. There is okra. And is that it? I can't think of anything else right now. Oh, the brassicas, of course. The brassicas, which were inside when this shot was taken, but now they are actually outside here in the mini greenhouse. And they are about ready to go into the ground. They will go into bed number 1, but they're just getting acclimated to the outdoor sunshine and cooler nights, so that they'll be ready to go in the open garden, and they'll probably go right there. Jesse's probably smelling where that snake was, because that's right where he was. Oops. Anyway, one other thing to show you. First of all, I grew asparagus, and they're perennials, off the deck of the back of the house, but I also have a few growing right here outside the garden, and I don't know if you can see those. Those are, not harvesting. Those are the ones that I let grow. They're doing pretty good. I did pluck one, which looks kind of like that one does, a little earlier, and I've harvested quite a few off the back deck, and I've been collecting them, and I think I have a shot of them as they are in the kitchen, and I might even have a shot of them ready for consumption, because oh yeah, they're just cut them up in a little bit of butter or olive oil if you're being cholesterol conscious, and yummy stuff. And one of the first harvests of the year, because they come up in early spring, so that's literally the first thing we're eating from the garden this year. So that's kind of fun. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else to talk about here. So let me stop here, because there was one other thing that I neglected to tell you about that I wanted to share with you, and that's sweet potatoes. As you may know, I grow sweet potato slips from just sweet potatoes that I buy at the grocery store, and that seems to work okay. This is how they look right now, and they are just ready to be, most of them anyway, are to be broken off and put in water so that they root. So that's probably what I'm going to do a little later today. But they are looking fine, and they're right on schedule. I'll get them rooted, and they'll be ready to go in the garden, in early May, I guess. And they work pretty well, actually. The only problem with sweet potatoes is the rodents like to get to them, so I'm still figuring out what mechanisms I can have out here to keep them from being hit by rodents. But other than that, sweet potatoes. Just wanted to show you that. Now we can go back to the original video. It's an absolutely wonderful day. As I said, we're 3/4 of the way through April, and things are looking nice in the garden. We already got a problem with our peas. not coming in very well, but yeah, those things happen. Whoops. But other than that, everything is pretty nice and proceeding the way we like things to proceed in April. And we'll have a lot more to show you out here next month. And that will be the month of May. But it's very May-like today. It's very nice out here right now. As you can probably surmise by the chirping birds and dachshunds that are exploring and having a good time. So that's going to do it for us. Marvin Gardens, April 2012, and we'll see you in May. Okay? Bye, y'all.